Hi friends, I'm Angie Mentink and welcome to Husky Softball, a championship journey. Now straight ahead we're going to hear from the players and coaches about their amazing run to a national title. We're going to narrow our focus to the leader of the pack, Heather Tarr, and we're going to hear how this year's squad is taking aim at another national title. But first, come with me for the journey that ended in the program's first ever national championship.
1-2 the count. Danielle Laurie trying to close the door. The 2009 National Championship goes to the Dogs. The Washington Huskies win their first NCAA title.
It's the moment of a lifetime, an achievement that every Washington player, coach, and fan will never forget. Winning their first ever national championship was a dream come true, but it's also a story about hard work, believing in each other, and overcoming adversity.
I think the most proud moment for all of us was being able to get our team to a place where we were going to be able to take it one pitch at a time in the most crucial points of the end of the season.
Expectations of the 09 season was to obviously win it. I mean, that was kind of our theme, believe, and right from the get-go, we just said we were going to do it.
The Huskies started the season on a roll, winning their first 18 games before suffering their first loss on the road to Alabama.
At that point, I think our team started to have some bumps in the road and experience some adversity. So that was good for us in the long run.
The low point of the season came at the start of Pac-10 play when the Huskies lost back-to-back games against Stanford.
We started to doubt ourselves a little bit, and then we came right back and made some adjustments. And from that point on, really, we kind of kept getting better and better.
The biggest lesson I learned last year was definitely dealing with adversity. Just, a loss, just not letting that affect the game.
The Huskies learned from those tough losses and ended up finishing second in the Pac-10 to UCLA. Next up for the Dogs, a trip to the NCAA Regional and the defining moment of their season.
There was a turning point at UMass where we lost the first end of the championship game. I think it was 6-0 we lost, and then we had to come back 20 minutes later that evening and try to beat UMass again to save our season. I mean, it could have been a huge, huge upset leaving UMass, and that would have been the end of our season. So we ended up playing UMass, and we went 15 innings long with them. They kind of battled us pitch to pitch, and we ultimately ended up winning.
The Huskies carried that momentum into the Super Regional by sweeping Georgia Tech. Next stop, Oklahoma City.
The majority of our team had been to the World Series before, 2 years before that, in the 2007 season. So I think our team as a whole understood the scope of it. It wasn't just about going there. It was about getting better every single day we played at the World Series, and we really did that.
To actually feel what it's like, I honestly think you need to be there. The atmosphere is amazing. The crowd, the colors, there's just little softballers running around everywhere, watching the sport that they love, so it's pretty cool.
The Huskies and Arizona State then suffered an agonizing 9-8 loss to Georgia on a game-ending bases-loaded walk.
We couldn't have gotten any lower. And then coming back that evening, we had to play Georgia again, and we end up, of course, beating them. And I think we beat them 9-3 to move into the Florida series.
Florida was ranked #1 the whole season. It was kind of just like, we didn't really think about the polls so much, but we knew that it was going to come down to Florida and us.
The Huskies were up for the challenge, shutting out Florida in Game 1, 8-0. Senior Ashley Charters led the offense with 3 hits, including a 2-run homer in the 6th.
Jacks that one to deep right, and it's gone!
And Laurie was dominant in the circle, giving up only 2 hits and striking out 12.
Danielle Laurie putting the finishing touches on a 12-strikeout, 2-hit shutout. In Game 1 of the championship series, it goes to the Huskies 8-0.
Now in Game 2, the Huskies fell behind early 2-0 in the first inning.
Out to center field, and drifting back is McWhorter. The runner at third will tag. Hilberth coming in to score. The throw to third, not in time to get Francesco Nea. 2-0 Florida.
But quickly tied the game in the bottom half of the first with a Laurie RBI single.
Chargers will score.
And a wild pitch that scored Kimmy Pullman.
And it gets away from Hilberth, and Pullman's going to score. We're tied at 2.
The Huskies took the lead for good in the third when Morgan Stewart hit a bases-loaded dribbler back to the mound, scoring Pullman once again.
Slow roller to Nelson, and she bobbles it. Washington takes the lead. 2-2 with 2 out.
Laurie took control, shutting down Florida in the 6th.
And lights out in the 6th inning.
But Florida rallied in the 7th with the double.
And Nea jacks it down the line, off the wall. Trying to go for 2 on the bum leg, and she dives in safe at second. And the tying run is in scoring position with 1 down in the 7th.
Then put the go-ahead run on with the walk.
And Bruder draws the walk.
That's when Laurie bore down and struck out the next batter.
Struck her out on another rise ball.
With 2 out, the Huskies were 1 strike away from a national championship.
1-2 the count.
Gardner was up, good hitter, and Danielle was being herself the whole game, just dominating Danielle. And it was just keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing, and the pitch came and she swung and missed, and it was just like, it's almost just like you don't remember, it happened so fast. Now it's just, everything's so clear. Like I can remember where I ran, what I did, obviously what we were wearing, you know, like it was just watching us swing and miss was like, oh my gosh, we did it.
I just remember like everyone just out dogpiling, and like I'm still like sprinting in, trying to get in from the outfield, and it was just like, wait guys, wait for me, and then just everyone just jumped on each other and kind of fell over into a dog pile, and I mean, it was just crazy.
In all, 5 Husky players were named to the College World Series All-Tournament team, including senior Ashley Charters, junior Danielle Laurie, sophomore Morgan Stewart, and freshman Kimmy Pullman and Nikki Williams. Williams set a World Series record with 7 RBIs in a single game and also tied a World Series record with 3 home runs for the week.
As far as performance, I think it was just adrenaline. We were there to get it done, and you know, I was just trying to lead my role and just do what I had to do.
And the on-the-field leader of the Dogs didn't want it to end.
So many games in that World Series set us up to do what we did, and each one kind of brought something different out of the whole team. And it's just, when we were done in that championship game, I was like, gosh, I want to keep playing. You know, like I'm having the best time of my life.
Laurie was also named the USA Collegiate Player of the Year and the Honda Award winner, the first Husky to ever receive such honors. The Dogs finished the year with 51 wins, the 4th most ever by a Husky team. Coach Tar and her staff were named Pacific Region Coaching Staff of the Year and also National Coaching Staff of the Year.
Being able to bring home the trophy of this program, that's just really what it was about. It wasn't about having the most talent. It wasn't about having, you know, the best statistics. It was about having the best team, and we did that in 2009.
And as a member of the inaugural Husky softball team, I couldn't be prouder. I was actually down at Safeco Field covering the Mariners, and King Griffey Jr. was making fun of me. He said, "Why are you so happy? You didn't win it, they did." Of course, he was right, but I sure did enjoy watching them win it. Now, the big question this year is, how will the team respond after graduating 7 seniors? We're going to let the players answer that question a little bit later on in the program. But when we return, we're going to introduce you to a side of Husky head coach Heather Tar that you might not know. That's when Husky softball, a championship journey, returns.
Nutrition is something that should be a priority every day, not just the day of your competition. Nutrition is what's going to help fuel your workouts, and your workouts are what is going to ultimately improve your performance. You also want to make sure that you're repleting your energy stores within 20 to 30 minutes after exercise. That's what's going to help your recovery so that you can get out and start training again.
Initiating Comcast Xfinity upgrade in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to an on-demand library approaching 20,000 titles. Your favorite shows, HD movies, and more, available instantly, whenever you want. Welcome to more choice, more control, and more HD than ever before. Welcome to Xfinity, only from Comcast.
Welcome back. Now, before Heather Tarr was the head coach at Washington, she was one heck of a player. And I know this because I played with her. She was selected to the All-Conference team from 1995 to 1997, and she was a 3-time member of the Pac-10 All-Academic team. So she's got talents and a head to go with it. Now, I think it's that combination of skills as a player, the ability to inspire others, and her innovative techniques as a coach that has made her and her players so successful.
Fresh off their first ever national championship, the Husky softball program has never looked better.
Everybody goes out for pregame.
Entering her 6th season as head coach, Heather Tarr exudes a calmness and confidence that has the Husky program at an all-time high.
Being a national champion, I think it just really kind of sets your program in the ground. Last year, winning it really means nothing to us because we're going to still have the same drive and the same process that we utilize to win it. But it's neat to be able to see on a national scale the reputation of our program just really have a kind of a stamp in the ground, and that's really what last year has meant to us.
Heather Tarr has enjoyed success as both a player and coach for the Dogs.
Let's go, Shauna!
So you may think that she has some type of secret formula for winning, but in reality, her method is quite simple.
We've always been about being able to execute against good pitching. You can start the year off and go crazy and lead the nation in home runs, but really the game is about having dominating pitching performances, making great defensive plays, and coming up with the clutch hits when you need them. So power is great, speed is great, but if you don't have the combination and the ability to come up with clutch hits when you need them, your stats really mean nothing.
Let's go, Dogs! Get a rally going, huh? Let's go!
Heather is proud of the Husky softball tradition that started in 1993 and feels fortunate to be leading the program to new heights.
Good at bat!
When I first got this job, I didn't quite know exactly what I was getting myself into. I knew I could do it, and I knew I could help get this program to where we want it to be, but I really didn't understand what it was going to take to get into it. And fortunately for me, we've had a lot of great athletes and a good system to be able, and good history and tradition to be able to help me personally lead this program to where it's gotten to be.
Each year, Heather's title, and she knows in order to do that, she has to recruit the right players to fit into her system.
We look for people that are unselfish. We look for people that can hold themselves accountable. We look for people that understand that preparation breeds confidence. We look for people that are tough. And we also look for people that just kind of fit the mold of what a Husky softball player is about. And I think once you can accumulate the types of people within your organization that fit the system, there's an embedded trust within that. And when you have trust, you can do anything you want. You can play music, you can play, games, you can do all kinds of things with each other when you've got the trust. So I think the system that we have in place right now, it's professional, it's a high level. We let our athletes play their game, but we can also help develop them within it. So just think zone down when you're back there. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's not just, hands off, do your own thing, act your own way. It's quite the contrary. They're fitting the system, but within that there's a lot of trust, and the athletes have earned that trust, and I think we've earned their trust. So it's a fun environment because of all those things.
Nothing right now, that a girl!
They say a team often takes on the personality of its coach, and this team is no exception. It's all about hard work, trust, and accountability.
I love her. She is such a good lady. She's really grown into herself and started to understand how to motivate everyone individually.
Nice hit!
And she does a really good job of staying low key, helping out everyone the way they need to be helped out. And she's the type of coach where it's like, when you mess up, you feel like you let her down, like you never want to let her down because you know she works that hard to make you great. So it's kind of like, okay, how am I not going to let that happen next time so I don't disappoint her or the team?
2 down. Take it away, Morgan!
She has the ability to work with us every day on skills that we need to develop, like our mental game. And it's awesome because I've worked with kind of the negative criticism, and Coach Tar is totally the opposite, just pumping you up, and she'll tell you if you need to do something else, if you're doing it wrong, but she tells you how great you are and how you're going to come up on top.
Good job, Hooch.
Coach Tar is definitely a different coach that I've had.
Sorry, Hooch.
She feels more like a teammate than a coach in a sense, to where I can tell her anything. It's a little different. Like other coaches, you don't feel as open as here's my problem type of thing, and she's very comforting that I could ask advice and get honest feedback and not be mad if she criticizes me or gives me a good job or well done. And it feels more like she's there to help instead of being superior and then talking down to me.
Yes!
Well, I hope all of our players have moments of standout, and going back to the years that we've had success, great success at the end, there's been a different star every single weekend, every single day.
With success comes fame, and after winning the national championship last season, the Huskies reached celebrity status in Seattle. They also learned how to deal with success from their leader.
It's interesting, the perception that people place on winners, and we embrace it. We love we love attention. Everybody likes attention, but I think it hasn't changed who we are as people. It's only given it confidence, so we don't think any different of ourselves. We are the same people that we were last year and the year before and the year before that, but you're only as good as your next season. You're only as good as your next at bat, and you just always got to strive to be better and better.
Bailey's leading off in right. Kimmy's batting second and left.
Coach Tar is committed to helping her players improve both on and off the field. She realizes that her players are student athletes, and softball is just one aspect of their young lives.
Coach Tar is amazing, playing for her is, man, I don't even know. Like, our coaching staff is just so amazing. Like, we just have so much fun, and they're just so available to help you get better, and they want you to succeed in just all aspects of your life. They're not just softball coaches, like they're helping me figure out and, help me find my major, and I couldn't imagine playing for anyone else, and I feel bad for everyone else.
Playing for Coach Tar is awesome. She's my first female coach, but coming in, I've really adjusted to how she teaches. She tells us things that, she's experienced. She tells us things we need to know to get better, and it's not so much demand. She leads by example, and she teaches us stuff outside of softball, and I think that's what a lot of us are going to gain when we leave here, is just the life lessons that she tries to teach us.
It's just cool that you can just sit down with your head coach and just talk about life. Not everything has to be about softball. And it's just coming here, you're a softball player, but at the same time, you're trying to find your path as a female in this world. And I think she does an amazing job of that with her athletes. On top of that, she's pretty successful, if you ask me.
Now, I have to admit, this is really nothing new for Coach Tar, because back when I was a grad assistant coach here, I would listen to Heather at clinics, talk to kids, and I would say, wow, that is a really great way to say that, or geez, I hadn't thought about that connection, but of course, Heather had. Now, when we come back, we're going to take a look at this year's team. The incoming freshmen, they have got some pretty big shoes to fill. We're going to hear how the returning players are taking them under their wings, both on and off the field. That's when we return.
From jet travel to software to medicine, this place has given the world some big ideas. A lot of that has to do with this place. Over the past 150 years, the University of Washington has fostered one of the most creative cultures in history. And today, it's where a new generation of leaders, thinkers, and doers are changing the world again. If you have talent, curiosity, and desire, discover what's next. It's the Washington way.
Welcome back, friends. I'm Angie Mentink. It is the most asked question after winning a national championship. Can you repeat? But don't use the R word, repeat, around this team. They don't like it. And don't get me wrong, it's not that the goal every year isn't winning a national championship. It is, but they want to get better within each and every game.
Even as the 2009 Washington Huskies were celebrating their first national championship, the whispers could already be heard.
Can you do it again? Can you go back to back? Can you repeat? And really, repeat is not on our minds because I've said this before, but you've got to take each year, each experience as its own individual moment. So repeat's not on our mind, back to back's not on our mind, doing it again is not on our mind. All we're attempting to do is win a national championship in the 2010 season with this team, with these 18 young women that we have in our program, and that's really where our minds are at.
Now let's meet the players for your Washington Huskies.
With the bullseye firmly placed on their backs, the Huskies are up for the challenge of winning a national championship in 2010.
At the end of the day, like when I put my head on the pillow, I don't think that's what our team worries about. Oh, we have this huge target on our back. Great, bring it on. That's what, we're a great team and great teams handle that type of stuff. So I don't think having that national championship should be a burden at all. If anything, it's something you should be proud of and you should be, let's do it again type thing. Let's game on.
That bring it on attitude is what often separates the good teams from the great teams. They expect to win, even after graduating 7 seniors from a year ago. 6 incoming freshmen join this year's team in their quest for a national title.
It's awesome. Everyone comes to practice every day with a goal in mind. Everyone works hard. We're all working toward the same goal to win another national championship this year, so we're all really goal-oriented, and we just want another one.
This program is a team, everything. It's like a family. Our coaches are always involved, our teammates are always together. I am with them on and off the field, always together. We're always together.
The Huskies may not have as much senior leadership as last season, but Coach Tarr isn't worried.
Their leadership last year has left a legacy to the student athletes within our program now that they want to be able to do what that class did for the team, and that means bring people with you. You take care of yourself, but also take somebody else that's younger than you and take them under your wing and help them learn how to play the game even better, more efficiently, and that's really what it's all about.
You kind of got to tell them, like, hey, this is hard, you got a lot of stuff going on, so suck it up, let's go. We need you here, we need you now. You're going to make an impact on this team, and our freshman class is unbelievably talented, and they definitely are going to help us in so many ways.
The freshmen are just like sponges. They're really great kids, and they know how to learn.
So far, the class of 2010 has impressed their new teammates.
I'm so proud of them. They're always looking for more, asking for more, trying to get better every single day. And they're just so open to information, asking how to get better at this, how to do that, how to do that. And already they've made a huge impact for us.
The biggest thing I said to them is that, I kind of let 2 years slip away, my freshman and sophomore year, without understanding what type of player I wanted to be and what I wanted to do to help carry a team. And it's just, you get 4 years to kind of be great. So you want to come in your first year and make that impact.
Of course, when the Player of the Year talks, everyone listens. But perhaps none have appreciated Lori's mentorship more than freshman pitcher Bailey Harris and catcher Melanie Hooch Fagali.
The first time I caught for her, I was intimidated. She was very intimidating. And when I got here, it was like we were best friends, which I wasn't expecting. I expected the national championship, Player of the Year, awesome pitcher, but she made me feel very comfortable.
Danielle is basically like my older sister. She's really taken me under her wing and helped me through everything, teach me what's what, and just kind of show me the way, show me how it's done, so I can help her out this year and save her arm for when we need her and just do my role.
Good eye! Atta girl! Leave that there!
So what does the head coach think about this year's team? Do they have what it takes to win the 2010 title?
I expect greatness from all the seniors, whether it's on the field or off the field, and how they're going to lead. And we have a lineup that could change 20, 25 times throughout the 50 to 65 games that we're going to play. So we are lucky we've got a lot of depth, and again, it's going to come back to different stars at different times of the year, and that's just really what we're all about. We don't just have one star. Obviously Danielle's stands out as the one, but you can't do what we're going to do and what we're trying to do without all 18 athletes.
The coach definitely has the players believing in her philosophy and themselves.
We have this term called the inner circle, and that's just staying within us, you know, and not worrying about the outside stuff, not worrying about the rankings, not worrying about what the media says or what reporter says what. The bottom line is we got to stay within ourselves. Just keep breathing, pitch at a time, inning at a time, and game at a time, and I think if we do that, we're going to be in a good spot.
We have a great team coming in, and you know, there's all this hype about being #1, but that, I mean, it's almost March. It doesn't really matter right now. It's just, you know, who's going to battle through these next couple of months and who's going to, you know, be great at the end.
If we put in the work and we have a process that Coach Tar talks about, if we have the mental approach, it's not again, it's not repeat and try to recreate what we had last year. It's getting the best out of this team. That's what's going to get us the second national championship.
Deep in talent, determination, and desire, the 2010 Husky softball team definitely has its sights set on a national title. They're just taking it one game at a time.
5 on 3, 1, 2, 3, 5! Now you're probably picking up that this Husky Pro is team concept, and I don't think you can argue with last year's results. But if you thought 2009 was fun, well, you just wait to see what 2010 has in store for you, because we are going to be broadcasting 8 games live on UW TV. Yeah, I will be providing the play-by-play, and former All-American Dina Tyson-Sly will join me and give us expert commentary. All you have to do is go to uwtv.org/softball. There you'll find our broadcast schedule. You'll see some game highlights and some behind-the-scenes footage that the players shoot throughout the season. All right, thanks so much for joining us for Husky Softball, a championship journey. I'm Angie Mentink, and I hope to see you here at the ballpark.